What's good, people? I'm Escudo. I'm the one who writes all the in-depth boxing analysis articles over on Imager. I use a lot of GIFs and describe the GIFs, and I cut them on YouTube videos. So a lot of people have approached me about trying to start a YouTube channel, and I've been working on it, and finally this shit is happening. Now, as you can probably guess, I'm not the most comfortable motherfucker on camera. So, got my little friend here to help us along. And tonight, in honor of starting my YouTube channel, we're going to watch one of my favorite fights of all time. It is the 2001 Cruiserweight match for the title between the undefeated Vasily Tiger Jirov out of Kazakhstan and my boy, James Lights Out Toney. One of my favorite fights of all time. Now, James started out at 160 pounds as a middleweight. Was fucking incredible there. He won the title, knocked out Michael Nunn in the 11th round with a left hook. Michael Nunn was like a 6'3" tall southpaw. Like that's pretty much the hardest build to fight. Like it sucks, and I say that as a 6'4" righty. Fighting tall southpaw sucks. Anyway, knocked out Michael Nunn. Has some okay performances. He fought a very game Reggie Johnson. Beat him by a split decision. James got knocked down, but he still won the fight. And then had a super fight with Roy Jones Jr. A fight that he came in to training camp and had to lose like 40 pounds, which is, less than ideal. And Roy Jones is pretty much the closest fucking thing I've ever seen to Spider-Man as a real person. He's the most athletic fucking thing I think I may have ever seen in my entire life. Anyway, so he loses to Jones, goes up to 168, and just annihilates Iran Barkley in one of the most beautiful performances I've ever seen out of any fighter. And so went up to light heavyweight again. James, again, started at 160 pounds. Now he's at 175. Doesn't do so well. Comes in out of shape a lot. Got a gift decision against, I believe it was Dave Tiberi. A fight that most people who watched it thought he lost. He wasn't he was never really comfortable at light heavyweight. So he went up yet again, and here he is at cruiserweight, fighting basically like a villain from a Rocky movie. Vasily Jirov is a guy who was raised from a very young age by the national boxing coach of Kazakhstan. And they basically tortured this poor bastard until he became one of the craziest, most unrelenting fighters you have ever seen. He throws a shit ton of punches, and he is undefeated going into this fight. I want to say he's like 32-0 with 28 knockouts or something ridiculous. And so this is very much a story of a crafty veteran coming up in weight to prove his skills against a bigger, stronger, younger guy. So, without any further ado, one of my fucking favorite fights of all time, James Toney versus Vasily Jirov. Let's do this shit.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black and his official weight stands at 190 pounds. He has an outstanding professional career, 65 victories, including 42 knockouts, with 4 defeats and 1 bout even. From the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan, here is the challenger, the former 7-time world champion.
See, he's going gray in his beard already, man. This ain't no kid anymore. And fuck everyone who's booing him. James Lights Out Toney has put on some of the most beautiful boxing matches I've ever seen.
He officially weighs 188 pounds. Since capturing Olympic gold in 1996,
27 KOs. That was off by one. Fucking sue me.
31 victories, including 27 knockouts. From Bulgash, Kazakhstan, here is the reigning, defending, undefeated IBF Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Vasily the Tiger Jirov.
And my boy, the best referee, bar none in boxing, Steve Smoger. Steve Smoger's awesome.
Trunks are good. Touch them up. Touch the gloves, James.
James. James. Come on, James. Ugh. Yeah, James don't fuck around.
Well, that's the man. It's a cruiserweight fight, but the winner will, in all likelihood, try to call out a heavyweight after the fight. Not just any heavyweight, the one named Jones.
Roy Jones actually went up to heavyweight and beat John Ruiz to capture the O'Neal title. John Ruiz beat Holyfield, who beat Tyson, who beat Douglas, who beat Tyson. Alright, so here we go. See James using that Philly shell style defense. Jirov, very square, which is pretty unusual for a southpaw, but it really suits his pressure fighting style. Because when you're more square, you're more able to hit with both hands, as opposed to, you know, the style that James uses, which is more of a counterpuncher style.
Never saw him hurt, and for the most part, never saw him really beaten decisively. You know, just Roy beat him because Roy was just Roy with his speed. But James is fighting a smart fight right now. He's simply trying to shoot the straight.
Emmanuel Stewart's like, yeah, well, Roy was just a fucking superhero, so, you know. Alright, so Jirov's going in. Jirov's getting real aggressive early, throwing a lot of punches. Ooh. James throws a jab to draw a jab back from Vasily Jirov, and then counters that jab with the right hand. That's classic counter punching. Look at him. See him stepping back, dipping his head down to his right to get away from the jab. It's good. Look at him. Slipping that jab. Refusing to give Jirov an easy target.
Maybe Bernard Hopkins is the one other fighter who shows you the same kinds of tricks that Toney will foster during the fight.
Jirov jabbing to the body, jabbing to the head. That's a sound strategy, you know, because the jab to the body draws an opponent's defense down, but the jab to the head will make them pay for that once they drop their hands a bit. But James, because he has such exceptional head movement, is a really difficult guy to land a jab on. Even and his hands are low too, so his body is sort of defended just by the way he holds his hands. So all he really has to do is keep his head moving to make himself a really difficult target. Alright, you see Jirov going to the body more, and he keeps trying to land that right hook over James' shoulder. It's going to be really difficult to do against a guy who uses the Philly shell defense, because you're behind your lead shoulder. So as that right hand comes in, it comes in at an angle where all you have to do is lift your shoulder, and your shoulder will take the brunt of the force, as opposed to taking it on the head, which a guy in a more square stance is likely to do.
And you see the defensive skills of Toney there.
Ooh, James with that straight right down the pipe. Drawing and countering. You see, he throws the jab, waits for Jirov to come back at him, and then hits him. Jirov opens up, and James once again counters with that short right hand. Staple of the Philly shell. Staple of the Philly shell. That counter right hand. I know a lot of people hate him. Trust me, I hate him too as a person. But Floyd Mayweather, that counter right hand does brilliant work. It's because of the Philly shell. Because his weight is always over his right side, all he has to do is snap it out and bring it back. And there's such a small opening as he throws that punch to actually hit him back. And with guys, you know, like James and like Floyd, who are excellent, who have excellent hand speed, your moment's there and it's gone. It's incredibly difficult to land a right hand against the guy who's oof. Look at James go, just slipping, rolling, catching punches, and then just countering with that short right.
Toney is landing the more effective and precise punches, but with the pace that Jirov is setting,
all right, round 2.
It's going to be pretty rough on him going down the stretch.
James doubles up on the jab, lands a straight right, starts working that left hook to the body. Jirov comes right back. Look, all right, now he's starting to hook James' arm. James's arm. He uses his right arm to grab James's left arm, so he can bang away with that left hand. And James really can't use his footwork to try and get away with it since he's trapped on the rope. But James just keeps working that straight right. Jirov lands some good body shots. James starts looking for the left hook.
Small trickle of blood out of the right nostril of Jirov. No doubt the
Body. James rolling behind that shoulder. He's staying behind that lead shoulder, and that lead shoulder is keeping him safe. Although that left hand to the body again, that hook. All right, he landed a good right hook there. James smiled at him like, all right, motherfucker, good. And then he switched to the high guard. Jirov just doesn't have the angle to land that right hook consistently. James, more than content to fight off the ropes. James is super tough. Hitting arms and shoulders. Yep, short, snappy little punches on the inside, but James is...
He's going to have to throw a left hook behind that right hand, too, because he's trying to land it all with the right hand. And the pace is just a lot faster than he wants, and you can see him landing the ropes down to support himself.
Yeah, James goes straight to the ropes. Not afraid. I know my defense. I know how hard I am to hit. And Jirov, look at him. He throws an 11-punch combination because fuck it. Jirov starts working the jab. Starts trying to stay behind the jab. Jirov starts trying to go behind that arm to land the right hook to the body, which is a pretty good strategy. It's a pretty sound strategy against a guy in the Philly shell.
He's a good puncher. But at the pace that Jirov is sitting right now...
Oh, James with the 4 uppercuts and the left hook. Beautiful infighting. All right, now watch James here. Every time his head crosses over to Jirov's left side, he throws a punch and gets back over to the other side. Watch. He's going to try and cross it, throws a punch, gets back over. Because when he is on Jirov's right side, Jirov can't hit him with his left hand, which is his more powerful hand as a southpaw. But again, round 1 was good. Round 2 was even better.
Next Saturday night, May 3, Oscar De La Hoya makes his return to the ring, but he puts his 154-pound title on the line against rugged veteran Yuri Boy Campus. In addition, 126-pound titleist Eric Morales defends his title against Fernando Bobby Boy Velarde.
Yeah, no one cares. No one cares.
Takes on Romania's Leonard Dorin in Spatafora's hometown of Pittsburgh. Also in action that evening, middleweight prospect Jermaine Taylor.
Nobody gives a shit. Jermaine Taylor's cool. Oh God, he Ward 3. That's another one that I gotta do on this channel, because Gotti Ward 1 is probably one of my top 5 fights of all time, but Gotti Ward 3 is one of the most beautiful displays of insanity and human endurance. That's my boy. Lowell, Mass. I'm a Massachusetts boy myself. What can I say? I'm a homer. Alright, so Jirov. What? Oh! Oh, god damn. Take that knee. Take a knee. That was just blatant. That was just... That's blatant.
This comes after Jirov threw 102 punches in the second round and landed 12 solid shots to the body. Here's a look.
That's an absolute absolutely perfect call by Steve Smoker. I might have taken a point for that, because look at this. This is as low gets. This is an uppercut that... look at the guy in the background. He's like, ugh. Yeah. Well, now that James' testicles have redescended, he's like, all right, my balls came back out. Now let's do it. Okay. And he is fucking pissed, as I recall, and just comes out and just starts banging with him. Just look, slipping, moving the head, ducking after every punch. After every punch, look at this. Oh my god. Throws the left hand. It takes him past James. He wound up so much on that left hand that it actually broke his balance and sent him off in the other direction. Alright, so now James is sort of chilled out. Alright, Jirov starts trying to work that body again, but
Yes, and he's got the fight pretty much in his way, his control for him. But if he starts shooting those low punches, it can be crucial in this fight here because it's not going to be a one-sided fight to score.
Jirov working for lead foot dominance. He's stepping around James' left foot, which allows him to have an open angle to land that straight left hand that every southpaw is a master of. But James is so skilled. He knows as soon as that step happens that the left hand is coming, and so he's able to slip the left and counter with the right hand. Beautiful boxing. Beautiful. Ooh.
That right hand wobbled Jirov momentarily, but Jirov comes plunging forward again, trying to keep the pressure on Toney.
Just that little step back, just to keep him out of distance. And notice how James keeps going like this. That's a feint of defense. So if he goes like that, that means the lane for Jirov to land the straight left hand is closed. Oof. Oh, James waving him in.
Both guys have shown what it is they can do and what they like to do in the first 3 rounds.
Trading jabs. James shifting back. Switching stances. James is moving to the inside a lot, which is unusual in an orthodox versus southpaw matchup. It's called the open guard matchup. You've read my articles. I'm sure you've seen at least one reference to lead foot dominance. But James is for the most part, trying to go the other way. And Vasily Jirov has the worst fucking corner.
You gotta move your head on that side, partner. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, you gotta throw more punches.
You gotta throw more punches. This motherfucker just went out and in 3 rounds threw something like 300 punches, which is a ridiculous pace for flyweights. For lightweights, that's a ridiculous pace. That dude is 190 pounds and threw 100 punches in 3 minutes, 3 times in a row. He's like, you gotta throw more punches. Like, what the fuck do you expect him to do? Like, there's not, like, no technical advice. He's like, you gotta move your head more on the inside, which is fine. It's all well and good, but it's not. Your job as a corner is to see things that the fighter is not seeing themselves. And if Jirov's corner, and all they can, he goes back every time, and all they can say, you gotta beat on this guy. Like, what the fuck does that help? He's doing his best. You know what I mean?
28, 2 rounds to 1. James lights out Toney. Jim, I thought he did enough to outpunch Vasily Jirov and win the first round. A big second round for Jirov, but then Toney came back after that low blow and certainly won the 3rd round. Jim, I gotta tell you something.
I'm sure some of y'all think I'm trying to look classy, but literally, it's a fucking box of Franzia that I'm keeping on my space heater right now. Yeah.
And this has been since the opening bell. I don't know.
All right, so
You know, he may be having a hard time breathing through that mouthpiece.
What do you think, Emmanuel, about the
James,
mouthpiece of
solid
Toney?
defense, constantly moving head. Just
He must be used to
literally, he moves his head.
with a new mouthpiece. At least I hope.
That is in exactly the size and space that a boxing glove would occupy. Ooh, Jirov with a nice body shot there.
Yeah, but it's every fighter's comfort zone.
Ooh, lands a couple straight lefts.
Now, do you think Jirov has been inhibited at all by the danger of throwing low punches and getting penalized?
I think it may have slowed him down a lot from going when he got his whole attack off, because I know that they were concentrating a lot on trying to hurt James.
Trade jabs. Jirov throws in the uppercut. James is still dipping off to his right. And if somebody starts throwing round punches at you, hooks, all you have to do is dip off to the right and get your head underneath the level where the flight path of the hook is. And it'll miss every time. It's a great defense to that punch. An intelligent fighter will try and counter that with an uppercut. And Jirov has shown a few decent uppercuts there, but not frequently enough to convince James to stop doing it. Oof. God. Ooh, nice left hand to the body, though. Another one, as James is walking to his right against the southpaw, which is generally not recommended. Straight left. See, now he starts stepping to his left. Once Jirov keeps landing that left to the body, but ducking the headshots. Waving him in again. He's just so nonchalant about it. Ooh, and snaps his head back with that straight right. And the up close. Ooh, and the left hook. That left hook is James' money punch. That is the punch that James goes to when he knows he needs to do some big damage. And James' left hook. I know his nickname is Lights Out, but he's not really a great puncher, with the sole exception of that left hook. That left hook is vicious. The straight right hand is very accurate. It's got a good snap to it. That left hook is a friggin' sledgehammer, man.
You gotta keep beating on this guy, man. He's running out of gas. You know?
Which is it's weird that James never really. Oh, corner. You got beat on him. Fuck off.
I want you to break this guy down. Let's go work. Okay? He's ready to go.
Round 5.
James Toney says to
Here we go.
I'm breaking him down. You agree, Emmanuel?
Yeah, I think he's been more effective with his short punches. And you know, both guys are telling the other corner the same
Oh, that's another staple of Orthodox versus Southpaw matchups is tripping. Because you both have the foot on the same side forward, it gets super easy to get tangled up.
a little better than even the right hand.
Well, for some fighters, it's really hard to land the left hook against the southpaw because the angle. But of course, Jirov squares up and makes himself available more than most
He
southpaws.
gets square and he's got his right hand down because he's always looking for right hands. He's never looking for the left hook.
All right, look, Jirov grabbing that arm again, trying to push James back, trying to grab again, but James is just backing off and throwing punches and landing short uppercuts
That's a great connect percentage.
and making Jirov pay for trying to grapple with him. And that is very important to an outside fighter. James wants to be on the outside. As great an inside fighter as he is, Jirov, his volume is just insane. And so James is better off out in open space where he's able, you see, Jirov is just non-stop. James goes inside, Jirov throws a fucking 7-punch combination.
Fighter landed more than 400 punches in a championship fight. One man,
Ooh,
and only one,
that left
has done
hook.
that 4 times.
Jab.
That's James Toney.
Jirov uses the jab. Ooh, that right hand to the body. That right hook to the body. Oh, look at this. Ooh, ooh. Now James knows that when he hits Jirov good, Jirov is going to come forward. It is in his fucking DNA to be that relentless guy. So when, actually, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna slow mo that one. All right, where we at? All right, guys. Well, I fucked something up. So yeah. So I guess this is gonna be part 2 of this video that I wasn't expecting to have happen, unless I can learn some fucking video editing and piece it together so it actually makes a coherent, video. So anyway, here we are, 223 around 5, before the combination that made me fucking stop the video in the first place. And alright, so here we are again. Chains. Yep.
Numbers through 4 and 5. Toney landing 108 out of 245. That's a great connect percentage of 44%. Jirov 86 out of 326. James Toney lands a lot of punches for a counter puncher because he lets his hands go freely.
Yes, he's landing clean, short, effective
Yep.
punches directly to the sun.
James Toney is.
Matter of fact, as the fight goes on, Jirov might swell up a lot more.
Landing in the hooks. Jirov just keeps banging away, man.
Only 25 times in CompuBox history has a fighter landed more than 400 punches in a championship fight. One man, and
Left
only
hook.
one, has done that 4 times.
Jab.
That's James Toney. The most punches ever landed in a championship fight.
Like I said, Jirov's doing good work with that right hook to the body, but James' footwork here. He knows Jirov will come forward, so he steps back and keeps throwing, because he knows that's where Jirov is going to be. So that jab across his face again, and Jirov goes back to the body with that left hand.
Remains accurate through the last 2 rounds, getting to the center of the breadbasket.
Ooh, James throwing that right hook.
Tony's landing short, accurate punches, but Jirov is still making him fight at a pace that I don't think a man his age wants to fight at.
Jirov's face is busting up, though. Trickle of blood from the right nostril.
Ooh, look at that. Jirov tries some tricky footwork, but James is still able to duck underneath the straight left hand off of the stance switch.
James is predicted. As well as for Tommy Brooks and Bell Torrance, who both know a thing or two about it themselves.
Alright, James landing the jab, 1-2. Jirov comes back with a 3-punch combination. James comes back with a 2-punch combination.
Shots backing Toney off again.
Yeah, Jirov comes forward.
Jirov
He's just relentless, man. He's just fucking relentless. And James is accurate with the short right hooks on the inside and the left hook. The left hook is really what James wants. Don't get me wrong, James' right hand is beautiful. Look at that. Through round 5, in 5 rounds, Vasily Jirov is averaging more than 100 punches a round. And this fucking corner beat on the sucker. Are you shitting me? What is he supposed to, like, no technical advice. No, okay, he's open for that right hook to the body. This is shit that I'm seeing. And I am not a professional corner man, nor am I a professional fight trainer. I'm some dickhead who's watched a lot of fights and trained a bit. And I can see that Jirov's right hook to the body is doing good work for him. But all Jirov's corner can tell him is just keep doing what you're doing, but harder, and that is the definition of useless in terms of being a good, effective corner, of telling your fighter what he needs to hear to win the fight. And he's still fucking yelling it. Beat on him. Are you shitting? Oh, James. Left hook. That left hook, he's starting to land it more consistently now. More inside fighting. James is starting to pressure, and Jirov is starting to... He's giving ground, but he's still looking for lead foot dominance. He's backing off, but he is still trying to get to a good, solid punching angle to land on James. And James is just making it difficult for him.
at least you can see it in Toney's eyes. Bell Torrance is such a flatliner, you barely know that his fighter's fighting. He's emotion-free over there.
I guess he used to being so quiet and working with Eddie Fletcher all those years as assistant to him. Eddie did most of the talking.
And Jirov trying to hook that arm again, and does. And he's pressuring in with that shoulder to put James on the ropes. And then opens up with the combination. And James is just being patient, defending himself, and then that right hand. The second Vasily Jirov throws that left hand to the body, James is ready with that counter right hand. And Jay, look at him. He knows it. He knows it. James has a habit. It's the same thing that made him look so great in the Iran Barkley fight. Is that when his opponent is looking, he picks his punch. James has decided that every time Jirov throws that left hand to the body, he's going to counter with the right hand over the top of it. And it's... He's so relaxed. He's talking to people outside the ring. He's talking to Freddie Roach as this professional killer is trying to attack him. Like, and he's just relentless. Still waving him in. Waving him into the 1-2. And then 2 short right hooks. Jirov's got him cornered now, though. And James keeping that nice tight Philly shell defense, and just forever just staying relaxed, countering when the counter is there. No wasted motion, no wasted effort, just countering when the counter is there.
Easy fight to score.
The uppercuts. Yep, see? Jirov landed that left hand to the body. James counters with the short right hand. And they fucking stare each other down. Okay, guys. You know, trying to separate these two fucking monsters. Right?
In the small room at Foxwoods. And Perfect 10 magazine girl of
Foxwoods
the
is
decade,
fucking
Ashley
ridiculous.
Deckenford, has
I went there for my
won
anniversary with my girlfriend. Foxwoods is fucking huge.
with the same intensity with which Vasily Jirov pursues James Toney's Renegade. Ashley says if I can flirt with him just a little bit, I think they'll remember the Perfect 10. That's the flirt.
Look at that, the connect percentage different. Jirov's at 19%, James is at 54%.
Our connects in round 6. By CompuBox estimate, Jirov 15 out of 65. Throwing a lot, but that's only a 23% connect percentage. Toney, 27 out of 47. Phenomenal, 57% accuracy, and a lot of them hard connects to the face. Harold, how do you have it halfway through it?
Okay, Jim. I got it also a very, very close fight. 57-57, 3 rounds apiece. I got it all even to this point.
Jirov's trying to move his head more, but when he moves his head, he's inevitably ending up in front of Toney's right hand. And he's doing that in part to get away from James's left hook. And that's the thing. Because, you know, Jirov's a fighter. It's his job to know what his opponent's habits are. And Jirov knows that the left hook is the KO punch for James Toney. It's the KO punch. And so, more often than not, he is slipping away from the left hook and into the counter right hand. Jirov lands a knife left, and he's grabbing that arm again to try and push James back to bang away with that free left hand, and then opens up. And James just listen.
Strange exercises as putting him in a closed hallway with German shepherds piped to the gills, or dropping him in the middle of a lake 3 miles from shore and paddling away. These are the kinds of things Jirov learned.
That's in America that would be considered like torture and child abuse. Like that is super fucked up. Like it creates a special type of psyche that allows somebody to do this. To throw to push their body to this level that they can just throw 100 fucking punches around. Like, there is no sane person who is throwing 100 fucking punches around.
The Russian Tiger keeps coming forward, stalking, trying to get to Toney's breadbasket.
That left hook. See? He's looking for that left hook. Wow, I'm a fucking idiot. That's alright. Right? Jirov just keeps pumping that jab out, and James just keeps countering it with the right hand. Jirov still keeping pressure. James walking, and walks him into a perfect right hand. And then a left hook, follow up. Dips down in that Philly shell, covers up. And then just, makes his way out of that corner and lands the right hand as he exits the corner and the round comes to an end. James Toney's a fucking monster. They're both fucking monsters. They're just different kinds of monsters. And for me, I'm more of afraid of like a sniper who wants to kill you than like a Jason character. Like, I will fuck a Jason character up, you know. Like, he just keeps coming forward. That's it. That's all you have to know about Jason. It's super easy to get away from, assuming you have, you know, a decent jog, and you can jog for a long ass time. Ain't no getting away from a sniper. Jirov threw 92 punches in that round. And James is keeping up. You know, he's not exactly slacking off himself at almost 80.
He is high for the fight. It wasn't quite the 9th round of Gaddy Ward 1, but it was memorable stuff.
Jirov goes to the body and James goes to the head. What? Did Jirov go low again? Another low blow. Another low blow. And Steve Smoker. And James like, really, motherfucker? Really?
Good advice.
Steve Smoker makes the right call, I think. I would like to see a replay on that because that seemed like a borderline shot.
Now, the last time Toney
But
had to take time off after a low blow, he came back and dominated the round after that. Seemed to be energized by it. But here he gets raked by another body shot as he comes out of the corner and seems to be more measured.
And the weird thing is, like, in terms of the footwork, James is giving Vasily Jirov every opportunity to land that straight left hand to the head. And he just can't do it because James is so defensively sound. He's staying behind that lead shoulder. And you see, when Jirov throws that left hand, James keeping his other hand high and taking it on the glove and coming right back with a punch of his own. Jirov keeps just fucking coming forward, man. Pushing him against the ropes. James with the double left hook. One to the body, one to the head. Oof, and James now looking for that right hand. Jirov lands a nice right hook. Another left hook. See the spit fly on that one. God damn. It's just relentless. This pace is just insane for a cruiserweight fight. Ooh, and James catches Jirov as he's walking in with the straight right hand and actually stops him in his tracks. But Jirov, once again, just like, oh, that hurt like fuck, and just keeps coming forward. Crazy. Just crazy. Oof. Another one, too.
It's a huge round for Jirov if he can win it because he will
There's another.
the 1 point deficit.
Ooh, alright. He hit him with a good left hand. Look at him smiling and waving to him. And shit. Oh my god, I love James Toney. James Toney is the most swagger of any fighter I've ever fucking seen. You gotta pick the pace up. Are you fucking... Are you kidding? You gotta... And he just...
These are those combinations are beautiful out there, okay? Alright, don't stand in front of this guy. Move that head for me, okay, son? Alright? Use those angles.
See, that's what a coach should be doing. You gotta throw those combinations. You gotta move your head, son. You're looking beautiful out there when you do. Alright, let's see. Oh, yeah, that's low. That's low. It's not quite as blatant as the other one, but that was low. Oof. See? Perfect straight right. Catches Jirov as he's walking in, stops him in his tracks.
Punches around 8, Jirov 18 out of 57, Toney 18 out of 44. Going into the 9th round, Vasily Jirov's already thrown 654 punches in the fight.
It's crazy.
Averaging more than 80 punches per round.
Ooh, nice left hook.
And
Jirov just keeps pushing forward. That's physically taxing to keep leaning into a guy, especially when you're leaning into a guy and he just keeps counterpunching you to pieces. Ooh, James slips. Loses footing. Didn't seem like a knockdown.
Slip, not a knockdown.
Steve tries to clean it up because he's the best fucking referee in the business.
Toney goes to the body with good effect.
Straight right. As the jab comes in, he slips to the outside, lands that straight right.
Jirov's eyes have held up into the 9th. Looks like his vision will make it through the fight.
Oof. Oof, that left hook. James' left hook is just a fucking missile, man.
And Toney's activity level drops as Jirov
It's hard to believe that this was a guy who started fighting 30 pounds lighter.
and Toney finds his opportunities to
James is doing damage to a pretty big cruiserweight. They both ended up fighting at heavyweight because James is a fucking madman and Vasily's just a naturally big guy. He's a few inches taller than James. So it's not surprising that he wound up heavyweight. But if you see 160-pound James Toney,
what happens, of course, when somebody beats you to the body, beats you to the body
skinny.
over and over and over.
He's way too small for heavyweight. You would never predict in a million years that dude would end up being, you know, a fucking chubby 230-pound cat who just fucked up Evander Holyfield. Granted, Evander Holyfield was old, but even still, for a former middleweight to beat an all-time great heavyweight and probably the greatest cruiserweight ever to live in Evander Holyfield is insane.
Limiting the damage of Toney's counter shots. Jirov just keeps beating it.
And
Beating it into the body.
yeah,
And Toney keeps
Jirov just keeps beating it. And
more punches.
to his eternal credit, Jirov has listened to his corner's advice completely. You gotta beat on him. You gotta beat on him. And he fucking just went right at him and they just beat the fuck out of each other for another 3 minutes. We're at 27 minutes now.
You can't stand in front of this guy. You gotta move your head. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. All right, this is how we work out in the gym. There's nothing different. This ain't no different except this is for real now. You know what I'm saying? No different than the gym. This is for real though. Look,
It's no different from the gym.
pick up the pace too.
You gotta
know what I'm saying?
pick up the pace.
Beat on this guy.
Oh my god! What is wrong with you?
We need to pick it up and here. Run a combination for me, just like on the mitts for me, okay? So we run a combination off this, and then keep stepping forward with the combination. Alright, keep the pressure on this guy. You back him up, hey, he's out there,
Exactly.
James.
That's solid advice.
James, he's looking for a reason to quit. Give him one.
He's looking for a reason to quit. Yeah, this dead-eyed fucking psycho. He's looking for a reason to quit.
Let's see how unofficial scorer Harold Letterman has it at ringside after 9.
Okay, Jim. You know, somehow or another, I just can't take it away from the effective aggressiveness of the silly Jirov. 5-3-1.
I disagree with that scorecard. I think James has won almost every round. He has it really close. James Toney is doing the better work. He's more accurate. He's more economical, shall we say, than Vasily Jirov. And for me personally, that is important. Accuracy and economy. I mean, Vasily Jirov's stamina is just fucking endless, but James is so accurate with his punches that it's how could you reward a guy who's throwing twice as much but landing either the same or less? And Joe, left hooks, man. I told you, James is left hooks, and James and Vasily Jirov just isn't going anywhere. Just fucking right in his face. Still, walked through 4 hard left hooks. He just does not give a fuck. Jirov has just endured. And James is beautiful. He's flowing. He's very natural and fluid. And Vasily Jirov, though he possesses some of those qualities, it's a different level. But Jirov's effort is just unreal. And I think, although it's hard to when scoring fights, most of what I come down to is who is the better boxer. And I say that as a person who has trained, knows the techniques, who oh my god, that double left hook. But I have trained, I know the techniques. And let me tell you, Vasily Jirov is working a hell, oh my god. Vasily Jirov is working as hard as is humanly possible. And James is just effortless. So. Look at that difference. Percentage-wise. 14% to 57%. And that's not unusual. James has been landing at 50% or above for almost the entire fight. And James is throwing less punches, but he's landing more punches. And I feel like that's one of the... Alright, let's take a look at this slow-mo, though. Oof. Left hook. Right hand. But in terms of scoring, when you have one guy who's throwing 104 punches and landing 14, and one guy who's throwing 70 punches and landing, 38, that's not a contest to me. I don't think it's fair either. I think James has been beating Vasily Jirov senseless through a lot of it. And Jirov's just the type of fucking psycho who's able to walk through it and keep throwing punches of his own. Oof. Uppercut, short left hook. Right hand, left hook. That left hook of James Toney is... And Jirov, look at him come back with this fucking 7-punch combination of his own. Starts grabbing the hand to bang away with the left.
same thing.
And James comes pressuring off the ropes, pushing Jirov back.
No precision punching, no boxing, not even power punching, just trying to outwork him.
Oh my god. Uppercut, left hook. Uppercut, left hook, that's a nasty combination. One that's really underrated. The uppercut will pick up the head, and the left hook will check the chin. If you're a guy, ooh, you slip. Slippery as hell. I love fucking Steve Smoker. Left hook. Toney just staying behind that shoulder, moving his head, countering when he can. And James, oh, that left hook.
The round has been mostly Toney, but Jirov nearly knocked Toney down.
And Jirov just keeps coming. Fucking, that's an 11 punch combination. James hits back with a 2 or 3. And they landed the same amount of punches. Nice fighting on the inside. James gets his head over to the right, so look for a punch, and then get it back right to the left. Jirov keeps banging away with that left hand on the body. I feel like he would have... Jirov is insane. That's crazy. He is absolutely dead on his feet, but he just will not go away. He will not do anything but come forward and throw punches. And as amazing as that is, it's not enough against a guy as skilled and talented as James Toney. And so I'm going to pause this video right now, because this is the last round of this fight. And not just the last round. What happens in the corners of the two men are what separates a bad corner from a good corner. James Toney has been doing beautifully, but Vasily Jirov in that last round, he may have thrown enough, and he threw a fuck ton of punches. He may have thrown enough to counteract James's more accurate, better placed punches. And so, where Freddie Roach, who I don't know if you've ever watched Freddie Roach actually fight, Freddie Roach is a pressure fighter. Freddie Roach actually fought a lot like a left-handed Jirov, had a great left hook, and you know, was very aggressive. And so I'm gonna play this, and it is seriously one of my favorite moments in the history of the sport, because this is the moment. It's the last round of a very close fight between two very talented fighters. As beautiful and flowing and effortless as James is, Jirov has that other type of talent. The type of talent that isn't God-given. The type of talent that it takes a serious amount of effort and willpower to develop. He just will not go away no matter what you do. And so here we have, in my opinion, one of the best moments in the history of the sport. The cornermen, round 11, Vasily Jirov versus James Toney. Let's hear what they got to say.
He's losing the fight, you be careful. All right, this is your crew. Last round, he's losing the fight, don't get careless.
Okay, JT. Okay, listen to me. Alright? Change your move right here, this round, okay? You gotta put this guy on his ass. I'm serious now, okay? Alright? He don't hustle you down there. Just don't let him hustle you. Come on, man.
That's the moment. Fuck. Fuck. That is a guy who has had 900 punches, 950 punches thrown at him over the course of the last hour. He has fought an incredible fight against what is essentially a goddamn pit bull on two legs. Vasily Jirov refused to go away, got in his face, and finally, in round 11, was able to get around from him in what to a lot of viewers believe was a very close fight. A lot of people at ringside believe was a very close fight. I feel like watching the video of this, it was not as close as people thought it was, but you know, when you're actually fighting, you know, you know what's happening. I'm sure James had a feeling that it was close because Jirov just wouldn't fucking go away. He just never went away. But I'm sure James knew he was doing well. But when Freddie sits him down and tells him, "You got to put this guy on his ass," and James, after fighting one of the most amazing fights I've seen, he just goes, "Fuck." Like, the first fuck is, God damn it, what more can I do? What more can I do to make this guy accept defeat? To make this guy accept that he is not technically on the same level as me. And then the second fuck, I'm gonna go do it. And that, my friends, is why I love this sport. Moments like this, where both guys realize that if you want to be the best in the world at something, you need to go above and beyond what you even believe you're capable of. What even people who have invested years in your ability and your talent believe you're capable of. It's the triumph of the human spirit over mental and perceived limitations. And my friends, that right there, that moment is why the fuck I love boxing. That's why I love fighting. That's why I'm here today, sitting behind this laptop. And I really hope that's why a lot of you motherfuckers are watching me right now. Alright, so let's watch the rest of this fight.
Well, it's going to be hard to get out and outwork the guy. The only thing he can do is shoot power punches and hope that he can knock him out by putting everything in his punches.
And they're telling Jirov he's winning. Don't get careless. Don't get hit. Survive this round and you've won this fight. That's what Jirov's corner is telling him. Now that may not be true, but don't get careless. And what does he do? Wanders the fuck out, starts grabbing onto James' arms and forcing him into the ropes. Now James, actually, if you look, he's pulling Jirov back into the ropes. He wants Jirov to be aggressive. James was grabbing on in that exchange. James had the overhook on Jirov's arm and pulled him back into the ropes. He wants Jirov to be aggressive because he wants to land that big punch. And here he goes. Look at this fucking madness. This fucking madness. James just staying on the rope, staying calm, just waiting for Jirov to punch so he can punch so he knows he's gonna land. Catch and pitch, people. Catch and pitch. The most beautiful part of boxing. And Jirov's going to the body. He's staying. He's getting real aggressive. Jirov's getting real aggressive. Still coming forward. James starts looking for this left hook and starts finding it. Oof. That's a big shot. That's a big shot. That's a big shot. Another. James just needs this left hook. He's looking for the left hook at every opportunity. Oof. Oof. Jirov just took 9 fucking left hooks to the face and is still coming forward. Alright, now he finally takes a step back. Jirov's getting unbalanced. Oh, James with the right hand. And look at Jirov! Was told to be careful. And he just, it's not in him. It's not in him to be careful. Oh, oh, oh. Oh! And here's the fucked up part. Here's the part that will separate a person who knows boxing from a person who is just a casual viewer. Not to make too fine a point of it, but we are going to watch that again. It's not the left hook to the head that stops Jirov. It's the left hook to the body, and you can see it. James throws a left hook to the head and then a left hook to the body. And when this body hook lands, watch Jirov's response. Ready? Oof, right there, right there, right there. That body hook, you see Jirov's body sink when you hit someone to the body, especially to the liver, which is the worst part of the body to get hit, aside from like the testicles or directly in the eye. And look at him. When you get hit in the liver, there is a nerve that runs around the liver. The liver is the largest organ in the body. Ton of blood. It's responsible for essentially filtering your bloodstream along the kidneys. But when you get hit in the liver, there's a nerve called the vagus nerve that runs around it. And getting hit really hard in there on the vagus nerve causes it to overload with electrical signals. And essentially, your legs and your brain are unable to communicate. So when you hit someone to the liver, it often will take a second. Like you'll hit, and you see Jirov immediately sink, but he's still standing. That's his body going, oh shit, something bad happened. Let's see if they can catch it. They can catch that left hook to the liver. Right here. Oh, bam. Yep, the double left hook. The one to the body is what did the damage. As soon as he landed that punch to the body, Vasily Jirov was knocked down. It's just that his brain had literally yet to realize it. His brain had literally yet to realize it. His brain is no longer in contact with any of his muscle fibers below the waist. And fucking the last second knockout. James Toney is back, people. James Toney, my favorite fighter, does beautiful things and wins this fight with the last second knockdown.
117 to 109. Steve Weisfeld has it 116 to 110. And Melvina Lathan scores it 117 to 109. for the winner by unanimous decision, and new IBF Cruiserweight Champion of the World, James Lights Out Toney.
So the
And
judges
just,
give victory to
oh
Toney
my God.
for his brilliant display of counterpunching.
James is just beside himself.
Has resurrected his career with a magnificent performance.
God
against
damn, what a
Vasily
great
Jirov.
fight. Alright, guys. I'm out. One of my favorite fights of all time. Before I go, I just want to give a few shout outs. Shout out to everybody in New Bedford, my Free Stones crew, my Friendlies people. Shout out to Southpaw Seamus in Arizona. I love all you motherfuckers. Shout out to my girl, who's somewhere in Connecticut tonight, allowing me to make this my first YouTube video. I hope you motherfuckers like it. Subscribe, like, whatever the fuck. I don't know how it works. Just do the things so you can see more of this shit. Alright, guys, take it easy. I'm Escudo. This is my favorite fight. And there's gonna be more to come, people. Just my first one. When I wrote my first article, looking back on it now, it was kind of a piece of shit. But I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna get so much better. And I hope y'all are willing to join me for the ride. Alright, people, I'm out. Take it easy. Oh, fuck off. Like that, for instance. Fuck off.